Everybody's white balanced, looking good? Bill Johnson, Director of Administration, City of Fulton. I'd like to thank everybody for coming this afternoon. We got some news that we want to share. City of Fulton was contacted by our natural gas supplier at about 1:30 this afternoon, letting us know that due to the cold weather, that many of the natural gas producing wells located in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas were freezing up, meaning that the natural gas is not coming out of the ground and being placed into the distribution pipes that serve not only Fulton, but the rest of Missouri and all of the Midwest. The City of Fulton pre-buys approximately 75% of the natural gas that we use and that we sell to our customers. But we let about 25% of it go to the market. The 75% that we pre-bought, we're pre-buying natural gas for about $3, $2.50 to $3 a decatherm. Due to the extreme conditions that the cold weather has caused, we were told that we are to expect prices of between $250 to $400 a decatherm. So instead of $3 to $4 a decatherm, it could be $400 a decatherm, an increase of 100 times. What this means for the City of Fulton on that, and this is just on the 25% that we let go to the market, it means that it could be an extra $700,000 to $900,000 a day for each of the next 4 days. The situation we're in is in effect at least through next Tuesday. It'll take effect tomorrow, and it'll be in effect for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We do not know what effect everything will have on the prices and the situation come Wednesday. Even though it's going to be an extra possibly $900,000 a day or $3.6 million over the course of the 4 days, the City of Fulton has adequate reserves that we will not be forced to pass any of this on to the customer at this time. If the extreme condition extends beyond next Wednesday and into next week, the City Council will have to evaluate the cash flow situation that we are experiencing and may need to make some adjustments and may need to pass some of this on to the customer. We are asking customers to conserve natural gas as all possible, turn the thermostats down a little bit. This is real. We have contacted the local colleges and asked them to turn down thermostats. The public school system, it's a weekend. Thankfully, they were able to cut back. We contacted some of our local industries and asked them to cut back on some of their production and their temperatures and natural gas usage. When you're paying 100 times what you normally pay for natural gas, every little bit helps. But like I said, at this time, we do not predict that this is going to have any effect on the bills. The City of Fulton made several phone calls earlier this afternoon. We contacted SEMA. We contacted Congressman Luchtemeyer's office. We made an attempt to contact the governor's office, but we learned that today's a state holiday, so we were unsuccessful in that. But we really feel the need, and that's one reason we contacted the TV stations, is to get the word out. This is not a situation that only affects Fulton, but is going to affect everybody across the Midwest. As we learn more, we're not going to know the true cost of the gas that we have until 8 or 8:30 this evening. We are told that is when that market closes, and we will know at that time, our provider will contact us at that time with the exact number, but we're expecting it to be $250 to $400 maybe higher. So that's what we know. If we learn more, we will try and let you all know and try and get some more information out. But I got with me, I have Daryl Dunlap, the city's utility superintendent, who was contacted by the natural gas supplier. Is there anything you'd like to add, Daryl? Daryl says he's good. I've got Mayor Lau Cannell here. Is there anything you'd like to add, Mayor? And County Commissioner Gary Youngerman and the County Sheriff. Anything you'd like to add? No, sir. We're good. So as we learn more, we'll try and maybe send out another press release to get the word out there. But the cold weather is predicted through next week. So I don't know that there's a lot of optimism that it's going to change. We understand that it is cold enough that the wind turbines are actually freezing up and they're going offline. As probably a lot of people know, in recent years, a lot of natural gas has gone towards electric production with electric generation. We anticipate that a lot of those electric generators are not going to be able to acquire the natural gas necessary to operate those generators. So there's a possibility this could fall over into the electrical supply side of the chain as well. We don't know. Are there any questions?
Was this something, has this happened before? Was this something foreseeable, knowing the cold vortex or extreme cold temperatures are coming? Was this something your provider warned you about, or anybody had any idea this could happen?
I've been the city administrator here for 25 years, and this is basically the first time this has happened. So it's very unusual for the cold to dip that far south to freeze up the gas wells, especially in Oklahoma and Texas.
Do you have any idea what it could cost price per customer if it does start to affect coming in the next week?
We have not done any calculations at this time. If the rates that we're forced to pay continue the way they are, we have not done any calculations to predict the impact that it could have on the residential customer. But obviously, if we're paying 100 times what we normally pay, the impact to the customer could be serious. Again, we contacted Congressman Luetkemeier's office, as we believe this to be almost a national emergency. There's a lot of natural gas in storage that maybe they wouldn't have to necessarily pull it out of the ground. Maybe they could pull it out of storage to keep, it's called line pack, to keep the natural gas supply lines full of natural gas so that pilot lights and furnaces continue to operate in the residential properties across the state.
How long would that last?
I have no idea how long the reserves or the natural gas in storage would last.
How much money is in the Fulton fund y'all will be drawing from to make up the difference?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, how much money is in the fund Fulton will be drawing on to make up the difference?
How much? Right now, in the natural gas fund, we have about $5 million in reserves, and if kind of the worst case scenario takes place right now, we will draw 3.6 of that out, leaving a balance of approximately 1.4 million, if that is the scenario. But we do not know that is the exact scenario yet.
Has the city of Fulton been in contact with other cities in order to get them to be more proactive about this issue?
I can't hear you.
Has Fulton been in contact with other cities of Missouri to be more proactive about this issue?
The city of Fulton did contact some other towns, and we contacted a natural gas association. And basically, the state's natural gas association really hadn't heard of the severity that this was taking place. So I think the Fulton's natural gas supplier, which is the Interstate Municipal Gas Association out of near Springfield, near Springfield, Illinois, they're the ones that contacted us, and they're the ones that really kind of brought it to everyone's attention. But we have been in contact with some other communities, and I don't want to make it sound like things are bad in Fulton, but things are really bad in some other towns. Because there's like a quantity of natural gas that we're allowed to take, And we don't think that we will go over that threshold. Because if you go over that threshold, then you get into where you can be penalized and pay penalties, and it's a multiplier. As long as we stay under that, we'll be at maybe the 3.6 million. But there are some towns that, due to the extreme cold weather, they believe they're going to blow through their limit and actually get into the penalty side. There's a lot of natural gas that's being used to make ethanol in various places across the state. It was discussed about maybe being able to shut down an ethanol plant to reallocate that natural gas to residential homes, but that really doesn't work either, because those ethanol plants have electrical generation contracts, and those ethanol plants have to generate electricity in order to meet their contractual requirements, and to generate that electricity and create the ethanol, they need the natural gas that they've already have reserved.
At what temperature did the gas wells in Oklahoma and Texas freeze over? Like, how cold is it there?
I do not know what temperature it has to be before the gas wells will unfreeze.
And how big is this network throughout the Midwest? Like, what's the farthest north, what's the farthest south? Like, how broad is this?
I am going to just continue to say the Midwest.
Is there a certain temperature you want the people of Fulton you recommend that this is the lowest or where you should set your thermostat?
We are not going to make a recommendation as to what temperature to set your thermostat to. I just want to remind everybody that if they can roll their thermostat back a little bit, it's going to have an impact on the overall community. And the more we can conserve safely and effectively, with it being cold out there, I don't want people turning the thermostats down to where it causes them either health issues or it causes their home to freeze up. But if they can cool it down just a little bit, if everybody does that, it will have an impact on the overall big picture.
Were any of the other cities you spoke with within Calhoun County?
No. We contacted a couple other cities, well, kind of contacted. We are aware of some other towns in the state that are also natural gas suppliers. They only have their own distribution system. Like in Columbia, I believe Ameren is the natural gas supplier across the community. So, this is a situation that would be affecting Ameren in Columbia and Jeff City as well. And just because they're Ameren and Jeff City, I don't think they're going to have much of a different situation than us.
So how long, at that rate of 700 to 900,000 a day, do you have an estimate on how long that reserve would hold out if it doesn't thaw?
A week, and then we'll get into having to evaluate some of the other city money that we have in reserve and where we want to draw to keep everything going. Our gas supplier, the IMGA that I mentioned, is actually concerned with some of the towns that they supply natural gas to being able to pay their bills. Anytime you get a bill 100 times bigger than you think it was going to be, it's difficult, if not impossible, to plan for that.
Will there be, has your provider mentioned anything about possible forgiveness if this goes on too long and Fulton can't make its bill?
I think the city of Fulton is in pretty good shape financially. I think there will be many towns across the Midwest that will be making the news way several days before the city of Fulton does. And we will evaluate the situation as it goes on. I think that's one reason we contacted Congressman Lutkemeier's office, to see if there's anything that can be done through the Department of Energy or through the federal government for some assistance in getting the natural gas flowing and available again. Dara, you're welcome to come on up and help out a little bit.
So Gary, from the county's side, have you heard anything from any of the folks who supply the rest of the county outside Fulton?
Ironically, the cities are using most of the natural gas. Most of your county residents are either heating and whatnot with electric or LP, propane. So, which, as this moves forward, as Bill stated earlier, there could be some impacts to propane and everything else, because if this continues to do this, there's going to be some places that probably potentially could have an option that are going to start trying to switch, which means it's all about supply and demand. So I see impacts, and Bill brought up electric a while ago, where a lot of the electric that's generated now is coming off of propane generators, or not propane, but natural gas generators, which means electric prices could be affected as well. So, well, yet to be determined, though. That's not a fear thing, but it's something that everybody needs to be aware of, and that's why the city, I think, has did a good job of contacting, our representation at the federal level to make sure this doesn't get out of hand, and we can keep this under control.
And normally this situation wouldn't be drug out maybe quite as long as it is right now, but with Monday being a holiday, there's really not going to be any markets open for the trading and selling of natural gas. So that's why we had to get it locked up going on into Tuesday, because Monday's is not a trading day. So it's the calendar's kind of fighting us too. Kind of a perfect storm.
Can you just say your name one more time?
My name's Bill Johnson, Billjohnson.
And your title?
I'm the Director of Administration.
Thank you.
Is Fulton better off than the other towns just because?
I'm sorry?
Is Fulton better off than the other towns just because of that reserve money that you have? And it tends to be more robust than other towns, or?
I would say, is Fulton better off than the other towns because of our reserves? I would say the reserves help a lot. That's one reason we have them. We view the reserves as being the citizens' money, and we're in the situation like this, we're able to give some of it back. Also, based on the industrial load, we don't have very many real large natural gas users, whereas some communities have some industries that use a lot of natural gas. We are, I guess in this situation, kind of fortunate that we don't have some industries that just use tons and tons and thousands of decatherms a day. Our major usage is residential heat.
Just to make sure I'm following the economics of this correctly, so it sounds like the price per decatherm is locked in until Tuesday. On Wednesday, market opens back up, and you learn what the new price is going to be, basically.
I do not believe we will know what the price for Wednesday is going to be probably until sometime Tuesday. I think we'll probably get, because Tuesday will be a trading day, so they will be able to hopefully establish what the price is going to be. If we can get some warmer weather, and get some of those gas wells open, I'm hoping that the gas will start flowing normally again, and the price will go back to the $3 or less than $3 a decatherm rate. I don't know. I'm not going to try and predict.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you all